Hello everybody, welcome back, and I am TheChornick, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the polls I ran over on Twitter about what the community would want to happen when Ash journeys to every single region in this next series, right? If you could only choose one thing out of these four options that I give you, what would it be? So you people in the comment section below, if you guys obviously do not follow me on Twitter, you can obviously participate by posting in the comment section below. But these were the results from the polls I ran over on Twitter, right? I only ran this poll in a day, so we only got like over 100 votes or whatever for all these. So of course I could have ran it for longer, but I only ran it for a day. But the results nonetheless are pretty interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, you guys could post in the comment section below if you agree with this list or not. But of course I said to pick only one. I gave people four options. If you could only have one out of these four options, then what would it be? You know, you're gonna lose the rest of them, but if you could only have one of these, which one was it going to be? So obviously I try to make this hard. You know, I know it's painful for some of you for some of these, but you know, pick one. You can only have one. Okay. And so these are the results. So first off, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with Kanto. When Ash goes to Kanto, here are the four options I gave everybody. Pidgeot, Butterfree, and Primeape returning. Brock, Misty, and Gary returning. Ash challenging the Elite Four. Or Charizard returns permanently, like on Ash's team, for the rest of the series at least. So those are the four options I gave people. And so if only one of those things can happen, which one would it be? Well, this one is a pretty tight race compared to some of these other regions that I gave out there. But for this option, Ash challenging the Elite Four was the most favorited option. Being 33% of the community vote, most people want to see Ash challenging the Elite Four above all else here. But nonetheless, they were pretty close. These results were pretty close. Personally, I would like to see Pidgeot, Butterfree, and Primeape return. That would kind of be like my option here, just because we haven't seen them in a really long time, and I think we could honestly have a really good story with all three of them and kind of see some sort of conclusion with all of them. But I do also really like the Ash challenges in Elite Four, but if I was to really think about like this next series, if only one thing out of these four can happen, I would personally choose the Pidgeot. I almost called Pidgeot Bridget. Pidgeot, Butterfree, and Primeape to return. I'd rather see that because I kind of miss those Pokemon, to be honest. I think it would be a nice conclusion for Ash to get them back again. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, post in the comment section below if you agree with this list. The community voted that when Ash goes to Kanto, he should challenge the Elite Four. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next region. So the next region, of course, is Johto, right? And here's the four options. Of course, I'm trying to make it hard for everybody, trying to think about like the best instances, the best scenarios, the best possibilities that can happen if Ash goes to each of these regions. I try to make it tough for people. For this one, I guess it was a landslide victory for May and Dawn returning over Ash catching any of these other awesome Pokemon. So first off, Ash catching that Larvitar that he let go, right? He had it for only a little bit, but some people wanted him to catch it. And Ash also had a chance at catching two legendary Pokemon, that being Suicune and that also being Lugia, right? And so I put those three captures up on this list if people would want to see that. Him actually catching a legendary Pokemon, or him finally catching maybe that Larvitar that maybe at this point would be like a Tyranitar, and Ash could have a Tyranitar. And Tyranitar is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I thought this would be a really cool option. But nonetheless, people rather see May and Dawn one more time show up and maybe travel with Ash for a bit, then they would actually want to see him catching a Suicune or a Lugia or a Tyranitar. Like, I guess people just really want to see May and Dawn show up again. So that's like the option that a whopping 59% of the community voted for in this regard. So when they go to Johto, I guess the majority of people would want May and Dawn to be seen again versus him catching any of these other Pokemon. So quite interesting. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the insights on Johto. So let's move on to Hoenn. Now, for Hoenn, ladies and gentlemen, what would you rather see happen when Ash goes to Hoenn? Okay, remember, only one of these can happen. So if you could only choose one, which would it be? Of course, for me, when I was thinking about Hoenn, what possibly could happen, I couldn't really think about too many things besides May, Serena, And then that's about it. Like, I was thinking, I was really kind of reaching out there, being like, maybe Ash should Mega Evolving something, or perhaps that battle versus Drake that he had on that boat, right? Where he battled the Elite Four, so maybe he challenges Elite Four here, and so I kind of put that up there as well. But ultimately, in the end, people would rather see Serena than see Ash fight the Elite Four, or fight Drake in particular. They would rather see Serena than Ash Mega Evolving something. And more people would rather see Serena than see May and Max again. So with that being said, that was kind of like a no-brainer to me. I knew May and Max and Serena were going to be the two that were going to be really, really close. Because I know people really, really like May and people really, really like Serena. So I knew that that was going to be like the battle. Personally, I actually don't know what to pick here. I mean, like, Serena could come back in Kalos maybe. But she could also come back in Hoenn. There's not really too much I could think of in regards to things that could happen in Hoenn, besides him maybe challenging Drake and Mega Evolving, maybe seeing some companions before. Like, there's not really much else I had for options here, but overall the community consensus was Serena should appear here. So ladies and gentlemen, post in the comment section below if you didn't get a chance to vote on my Twitter polls. By the way, go follow me, by the way. That'd be awesome. Let's move on. Alright, so the fourth region, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, is Sinnoh. Okay, and this one was really, really close. This battle was so close for so long. These four options, like, all of a sudden, the Ash versus Paul and Dawn returning, they just, like, kind of took off over the other two. But, so, the first couple hours, though, this was back-to-back. All four, like, were just even, but eventually Ash vs. Paul and Dawn returning seemed to really take the stage here. So ultimately, though, I'm actually really surprised by this one. People want to see Dawn. More people want to see Dawn returning than they want to see Ash vs. Paul, a Champions League, or Ash having like a rematch versus Flint or Tobias, like him challenging Elite Four. So it looks like people have this trend of they want to see more of Ash challenging the Elite Four in Kanto. They want to see him challenge Elite Four members in Kanto, it seems. They want just in these other regions just to see female companions come back. Because so far, I mean, people have been voting for May and Dawn to come back. And they've been voting for Serena to come back. And even May was second place in the Hoenn poll. So, with that being said, looks like people have a really big need, I guess, for seeing the female protagonists again. Over these other awesome choices, I mean, I'm kind of puzzled by this one. I mean, I guess this one's close too. I guess people really like Sinnoh. They really like all these options. But ultimately, there was a huge battle between Ash versus Paul. Because, of course, I could see that because it was one of the best battles of the entire Pokemon anime and one of the best rivalries. So I could see why people want to see that again. But they would rather see Dawn. Most people would rather see Dawn than to see Ash maybe go to like a Champions League or him fight, you know, the Elite Four or Tobias or even Paul. So kind of interesting here. But you guys post in the comment section below your thoughts about this one. But nonetheless, for what's going to happen in Sinnoh, the most of the community wants Dawn to return. So, ladies and gentlemen, next one, we got Unova. So, Unova, ladies and gentlemen, the four options were that we'll see Iris as the champion of the region. The second option was Cilan being a top connoisseur, finally reaching the height of connoisseurness, right? And then finally see that like Team Rocket versus Team Plasma arc, which a lot of people were wanting to see. So maybe some sort of variant of that. Maybe they just kind of like redo it for like this time period. But they finally have some sort of Team Rocket versus Team Plasma situation. And then the fourth option, which won by a landslide, which I'm pretty happy about, I'll choose this one too, would be the Hilda and Rosa finally appearing in the Pokemon anime. A lot of people were upset that they didn't appear when the actual Best Wishes, you know, when actual Black and White, the Unova series was going on the anime. So, and me too, I freaking love Hilda and Rosa, like, to death. They're, like, my favorite female protagonists in the games. Like, they're my favorite. Like, I completely agree. I love you guys. Thank you for picking this option. The community would greatly like to see Hilda and Rosa finally appearing over the other three options here. They're also the most attractive in my opinion. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's next. We got the Kalos region, ladies and gentlemen. There was two options that really battled it out here, and that was Greninja returning for good, finally coming back to Ash. There was also Serena again returning, and then Bonnie catching Zygarde, and Ash versus Alon rematch were the other two options. The two options that were just really battling it out, of course, was Greninja returning and Serena returning. So a lot of people I knew loved Serena, and that was going to be a really popular option, but I knew a lot of people also liked Greninja, and that was going to be a really, really popular option too. I kind of knew that those two were going to battle it out here, but I tried to throw in, Bonnie finally capturing Zygarde officially and becoming an official Pokemon trainer would be kind of cool to see, as well as Ash finally beating Alon, perhaps, would be kind of cool to see, especially if he maybe brings, like, Charizard, for example, from Kanto and kills Alon's Charizard with it, or maybe he, Greninja finally gets his revenge and beats Alon. But of course, only one of these things can happen, and which one would you guys vote for? And it seems that, in the end, seeing Serena again is the most favorited out of all these options. So which, up to this point, you guys can really think about, like, majority of people want to see female protagonists again. Even Hilda and Rosa, like, they'd rather see them make an appearance over the other options. Like, the majority of these are not even about Ash. Like, the majority of them are just seeing these certain female protagonists again. And people just really want to see them again. Like no battles, no captures, no evolutions, no. Like, people just want to see these female companions again, which is kind of interesting. I'm kind of surprised that a lot of the community just wants to see the females again. Serena returning, so it looks like both Hoenn and Kalos is for Serena, and people just want to see Serena again, more shipping for the win. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Kalos. So let's move on to Alola. So for Alola, ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys, okay? For the third option here, I put down Mallow, okay? Because I was thinking about all the different things that, like, people would want in the next, once they go back to Alola. And so I'm like, companions becoming captains, having, like, their futures met. Ash catching Tapu Koko would kind of be cool. Ash becoming the official champion of the region would be really cool. But I was kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to throw in Mallow in here, and just, even though Mallow could be a part of the first option, companions are captains, right? So we still see her there. I was just like, pick this one in parentheses with the only thing that matters is Mallow. And of course, you guys know how much I love Mallow. I love Mallow and Hilda and Rosa all, like, equally pretty much. And a lot of you picked it. Like, I don't know if you're just... Maybe the community is more like me than I thought. Maybe all of you just care about seeing Mallow, but, like, I'm pretty sure you guys did that because of me, and I just said pick this one, and I appreciate you guys trying to appeal to what I want, of course. Unless you guys are legitly just in love with Mallow as much as I am, and you would rather just see Mallow just as much as possible over any of these other things, because, I mean, Ash is already the champion of the Pokemon League. But nonetheless, people in the end voted for Ash as the region champion to be the most popular choice when he goes to Alola. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, these are all the options, all the choices, okay? So Ash being the region champion, Serena returning for 2 of the regions, May and Dawn showing up, Ash challenging the Elite Four, and then Hilda and Rosa appearing, Dawn returning, stuff like that. Like, those were all the options, and most of these are just the female companions returning or actually appearing in the first place, aka Hilda and Rosa. And then we also had only 2 options relating to Ash himself, which were him challenging Elite Four and then him becoming a region champion. So Ash accomplishing his dreams and then seeing certain female companions again seemed to be the most popular option out of everything for people, and they want to see those things happen in the Pokemon anime over anything else. So ladies and gentlemen, you guys can post in the comment section below your thoughts and feelings. My throat is so freaking dry right now. I'm just like trying to keep going. But ladies and gentlemen, I love your faces. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Okay, post in the comment section below. Make sure you follow me over on Twitter, by the way. I love your faces. Can't wait to see you, and peace off. Thank you very much.